Bruh. Oh, they can hear me just saying bruh, and they don't know why I'm saying bruh. Because I have the I have the Discord muted.
Hold on, I gotta turn my
So they
audio.
can only hear you.
Well, they can hear you
Oh,
now.
I heard my own voice and I hated it.
Listen, I'm in the chat, but it's off.
Oh my gosh, you can hear the clicking of my water bottle. Stop.
Well, I mean, alright.
ASMR.
So, are we waiting or are we gonna start?
We can just start now.
Okay, alright, Pog. Are you
Okay, you
recording?
can go.
Yeah.
Okay. Alright, what's up? It's Sorry, hold on, wait, give me a second.
No, you got this.
Right. Alright, what's up, guys? First episode of the Horror Hub, brand new podcast featuring me, your co-host, Ben, another co-host, Emma. Say hi, Emma.
Emma?
Emma?
Did the
Alright.
mic not work? The mic didn't work, my bad.
And our third co-host, Axel, the Beef Boy. Go ahead and say hi, Axel.
Hi.
Yo, that's what's up. Anyway, first episode. Alright, what are we talking about? Horror movies. What else would we talk about?
Yes.
There's like a lot of horror movies actually, and recently horror movies have been kind of like but like all horror movies are good, you know?
Yeah, I can back that.
Yeah. I just
Uh,
realized we did say our order before this started, but you know what?
What do you mean order?
Like,
Oh,
like,
this is going down so fast.
like. No, it's okay. It's okay. We'll just have like bloopers.
All right.
Upload this to a YouTube channel.
Do I have to
We really make a
everything?
podcast.
No, you don't have to re-say it.
Okay. All right. Well, we're talking about horror movies. So like we all brought our horror movies to talk about, and just like like engage with, maybe watch sometime. But yeah, I'm not going to watch your horror movies because I probably already have.
All right, understandable.
Yeah. Why don't you start us off, Axel?
All right.
Why don't you start us off?
All right. So the movie I chose was Split, and the main characters are Kevin Wendell Crumb, which is, well, I feel like he's like one of the most main characters. And then there's Casey Cook. She's also more of the main character. And then there's also Claire and Marisa, I think is how you say her name. And pretty much the movie is like about like when the three girls get kidnapped after Claire's birthday party, and they get kidnapped by Kevin, and he says the reason he has kidnapped them is because he thinks that they were unpure, which from my understanding is probably likely due because Claire and Marcia like forced him to touch their boobs, which I mean, yeah, but
Yeah, that's really weird.
yeah. But I think like the most interesting thing about it is definitely like the DID part and the 24 different authors. Like even if it's not even if it's not like a and it kind of have to say like accurate.
A good
Yeah.
representation.
I mean for like what it was like the first movie to like do that, and I think that who who plays Kevin again? I forgot his name.
James McAvoy.
Yeah. He plays the 24 different personalities so well.
I think it like does a really good job about trying to be informational. It's not like exactly informational, but I think it like does a good job of like trying to correctly represent it, even if it doesn't do it entirely well.
Yeah.
I definitely think with the way it ended up, like with like the beast like personality taking over or whatever, that was like a negative. But like I think like overall, all of like the alters like existing and then like sort of like understanding what the other is doing, like from like context clues. That was like really interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Plus, like, for me, like, the horror movies I usually like are usually psychological horrors. So I like the idea of like mental psychosis or just pure insanity, you know?
Hmm.
Yeah. And also, like, I don't know, like, even like though they have DID in it, they like don't only include that. Like, they have some of the other alters have things like OCD and like impulsive disorder. So,
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
I think they do a really good job at like kind of being inclusive on that.
yeah.
Um, that was the thought.
Oh, I
There
thought
was gonna be more, but it was gone.
I thought you were gonna continue, so I didn't say anything. It's like, yeah, but definitely, I think my favorite alters, which I kind of sounds weird, are probably Patricia and Hedwig.
Hmm.
Which
Good
Patricia's
choices.
like, yes, which Patricia's like the one of the heads. Well, like head people that like is most dominant and like, yeah, she's kind of like an old English lady, but she's kind of scary. And then I like Hedwig probably just because I like his childish personality. Because he
Yeah.
literally is a child, but
He is a child.
yeah. But I
Yeah.
was just like I know this is terrible to think, but like when he did that little like kiss scene with Casey, like honestly, I just like he played the like the same reaction as a kid would have so well.
Oh
I
yeah.
think he did a really good job about like the window scene.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like I think that was like just a really good way of like, oh, I'm a child and I'm going to do childlike things.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And like I also like how they didn't just do like Kevin's like his backstory, they also did Casey's. Which I mean, Casey's was really sad. And so was Kevin's, but like
Yeah.
Casey's was a little bit different in a sense. Cause like Kevin's was more like his dad was a drunk and he left and then his mom was abusive.
Mm-hmm.
Which I mean are still bad things, but like Casey, like her uncle literally tricked her into playing these games, which were just an excuse to like molest her when she was a child.
Yeah, that's really gross.
Yeah,
I think they tried to use that in a way of like showing how trauma kind of affects people differently because DID is like a product of trauma before a certain age.
Yeah.
And like obviously, Casey didn't develop DID from the trauma that she experienced, but Kevin did.
Mm-hmm.
and like I feel like um didn't they say Casey used to like act out at school? Yeah, she's ended up saying that because when she was talking to Hedwig, she was talking about um, that she acts out at school just so she could get away from it. But
Yeah.
yeah,
Mhm.
but I mean, the Beast was honestly to me terrifying because like okay, like I haven't watched many like cannibal movies. I've seen like Texas Chainsaw Massacre and like that's it.
You've never watched Wrong Turn?
No.
Oh my
Are we
gosh.
talking about cannibal movies?
Yes.
So you've never watched Silence of the Lambs?
You've never watched.
Oh, I have, but I
I was
didn't
gonna
like
say
it.
Hannibal Lecter. Are you kidding?
Oh my
You didn't like
gosh.
Silence of the Lambs?
No, I don't.
Yo, Axel didn't even watch Hannibal the series, dude.
You didn't watch the series?
No.
Actual betrayal, man. Talking about how much you love horror and you haven't even watched. You didn't enjoy Silence of the Lambs.
Oh my
Yeah, you didn't.
gosh, dude, I didn't enjoy
How
The
much can I
Shining
learn about
either.
you in one day?
Oh.
Okay, The Shining isn't that good. I'll be honest. A lot of people are
Shining,
gonna get mad at me for that.
Shining isn't that great. I'll back that statement.
Thank you.
I just like I don't know, it kind of dragged out.
Silence of the Lambs or Shining?
The Shining.
Yeah.
Also, it kind of sucked because that the lady who like had to do the screaming scene over and over again.
Oh,
Yeah.
was literally tormented.
Yes. I think she literally had to go to a mental hospital after she did that.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure she did.
Yeah, like the director was like super freaking horrible to her.
Yeah.
I feel like that's how all horror movies are, though.
Yeah.
If you don't get actual psychological trauma from being in a horror movie, did you really act in a horror movie?
Were you really in a horror movie?
Really? All right.
Um.
I don't really have anything left to say about Split.
Oh, that's fair. I mean, yeah.
Alright, so who goes next?
Um.
Oh,
I. I don't.
I can go next if you want.
I feel like, yeah, go. I actually really want to know what. I don't think I've watched your movie actually.
Alright, dope. So then I can talk about From Hell for a minute here. Alright, so my movie is From Hell. It's a Johnny Depp movie. Our main characters are Inspector Fred Aberline, his kind of like sidekick, I guess you could call him, Sergeant Peter Godley, and also our kind of like, I guess, problem character is Mary Kelly. The movie's set in the time of like Jack the Ripper, so Inspector Fred is going to find out who Jack the Ripper is. And um, they assume that Mary Kelly is like a potential like Ripper victim, so he likes to keep a close tab on her and her friends. But in and all, he ends up kind of falling in love with Mary Kelly, and while it kind of seems like that's a really like weird plot line to put into like a horror movie, it does get kind of weird because you kind of see the aspects of like you kind of get to see into who Jack the Ripper was, and actually there's a resolution. He ends up finding out who Jack the Ripper was, even though that's not historically accurate.
Yeah.
But it is a very like interesting movie, and it does do a lot of things interesting, like our inspector. The way that he tends to solve crimes is he gets high on opium and he sees visions.
mm. Does he happen? Is he the one that is played by Johnny Depp?
He is the one that's played by Johnny Depp.
Then that makes a lot of sense.
I mean, if you hear drugs, it's probably about Johnny Depp, which is kind of unfortunate, but it's how it plays out.
Yeah. But I mean, I usually like him in like sort of the detective roles. Like like,
The detective roles are the murderer roles. That's usually what
yes,
he gets.
yes.
Yeah.
Because, like, in Sleepy Hollow, when he's, like, the more, like, detective, like, aspect, yeah, he plays it really well.
Or in Sweeney Todd when he is in fact a murderer.
Yes.
Yes.
He covers all the roles, and I think he does it very well.
He has a wide range.
He does. I mean, he's also played in a lot of children's movies, but he also tends to make those kind of unsettling.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, let's not even talk about Cat in the Hat.
Oh Jesus.
I was kind of more going for like Tim Burton movies, even though those are kind of already like meant to be kind of cryptic, but also Rango's a little unsettling.
Yeah.
It's about a lizard, but it's like it's Johnny Depp, you know?
Yes. I'm really gonna have to watch this movie now.
Yeah, I think I need to know more.
Because, like,
No, it is a really good movie, and it has a really big plot twist at the end. Not gonna spoil it because obviously that's not the point of it, but it
Right.
is like I said, they do come to a definitive answer of who Jack the Ripper is based on kind of all the things that are happening and everything that lines up. And unfortunately, the love plot line plays the biggest part in the movie. It's like it's a movie
Oh.
about Jack the Ripper, but the love plot line is like really important.
oh my goodness.
Oh.
The enemies to lovers.
Jack the Ripper and the detective fall in love. That's why no one was able to find him.
Bruh.
Oh yeah.
I feel like knowing what I do know about Jack the Ripper already, I don't really have any questions.
Yeah. It follows the story very, very well.
Yeah.
In the context of like here's things that he did, here's like prior knowledge that like he is known to have.
Yeah.
And they add that a lot. Like honestly, if you were just watching it as an informational thing, like you could get away with watching it and understanding kind of who
That's
and what he did. But obviously, it doesn't hold true to all of it because it does come to a resolution. So, and obviously, we don't know who Jack the Ripper is today.
I always like stuff based off Jack the Ripper, though.
It is based off Jack the Ripper, yes.
Yes. Ben, you got your audio working? Oh no.
We lost Ben. First me, now Ben. It's a curse.
Yeah.
oh
Oh,
oh there we go.
oh yeah. Finally. Welcome back.
Thank you. My audio broke once again. I'm back.
That's what I thought happened.
Good thing you're back.
Yeah. I keep checking every now and again, and once everyone goes quiet, I'm like, all right, okay.
Alright. Ben, are you going to tell us about your movie?
Oh, absolutely, I am. I wish I heard the last part of what you said, Emma, but sadly,
You're all good. We just clarified that it was a movie about Jack the Ripper.
all right, awesome. I definitely wrote that down actually, so I'm gonna find it later.
It is a very good movie. I think it's on Amazon.
Do not have that.
If anything, I do have a lot of Johnny Depp's on DVD, including From Hell.
Heck yeah.
Ben, I got you, bro. I'm not gonna say how, but I got you.
Yeah, you'll figure a way. Anyway, the movie I chose was Upgrade. Um, it's very in terms of genre, it's not exactly horror, but it is horror, but more of like on the science fiction side and like action. Um, Definitely not a slasher. Is what I'm trying to say. But it does have like really like scary tones to it. Uh, so basically, this guy, his name is Gray Trace, uh, and he's just no, he does have his legs.
Did you say he has his legs?
Hold on, it'll be really important in just a second. He and his wife are basically in a car, and this is like set in like the very far future where like almost everything is reliable, like everything and everyone is reliable on technology. So the cars drive by themselves. I believe that like people also can be like enhanced with technology as well. That's also a very good point that will be brought up in a second. Um, but Gray and his wife, they're in a car, and it starts to basically like malfunction and just like crashes, and it like just stops working. And then like 5 seconds later, they basically get mugged, and Gray's wife is shot. She's dead. She's dead.
Oof.
A really, really good driving plot point. And he gets paralyzed. Really sad.
So is this why I needed to know he had his legs?
Yes, that is exactly why you needed to know his legs. Because he no longer has them.
Oh goodness.
Oh
And
man.
and you know, he's as all spouses do, he was really upset about his wife dying. Uh, couldn't be me, to be honest. Don't have a significant other. Can't relate. But I assume if I did, I would also be really upset if my wife died.
This has become Ben's sap story.
This is Ben's villain arc.
I swear I'm not on my villain arc because it makes a lot of sense that he's like moping around. Because later he goes to like, I believe they were friends beforehand, or he just like found out about it. I don't exactly remember. Uh, but like he goes to like this really um rich guy's house or like apartment or thingy, and he meets with him. I believe his name is Keen, Iran Keen or something. I don't remember. I vaguely remember the names. Um, and like the rich guy gives him like this implant, and it's like called STEM. Don't ask me what it stands for. And like it gives him like superhuman abilities. Oh,
The way that you
oh,
just paused is kind of funny.
I'm sorry. I heard a really loud popping sound from one of you, and I got scared. Um, Sorry, I have like Spark Notes opened to like the specific points that I wanted to talk about. Um, but so like, okay, he gets the STEM implant, and he gets like superhuman abilities, and like he starts like tracking down the people who killed his wife because you know he was mad about it. Um, and he just like, first of all, this movie is really made by like Blumhouse, and like the same person who like also directed uh The Invisible Man in like, what was it, 2019 or 2020? 2019. Um so it's like in that like sense if you watch the movie for like specific like things that happen.
Is it like directly like correlated, or is it just like direction, like ads?
Like direction. There are like a few scenes that are like cinematography was really used as like its own character in the movie to like show how like mechanical his movements were, especially when he was like killing the people and like how he was like interacting and like getting around places.
What do you mean? This
Uh
could totally be a slasher movie.
I mean
It
it
could be.
kind of is, but not really. Uh, but at some point he Gray, because I haven't said his name in a while. At some point Gray kind of like becomes like really obsessed about like finding everyone, and like he keeps going back to the guy, like, back to the rich guy, like upgrading STEM, the movie title. Upgrade. And he just like gets more and more information. It's I believe the original reason he got STEM, or like later down the line why he kept getting upgraded, was because he found out one of the people who killed his wife, or the exact person that killed his wife, had like like a mechanical implant of his own for like gun, or like a gun like thing in his arm. But
Inspector Gadget. I like it.
yeah. Eventually he kind of like gets caught. Um I believe it's by his mother. He gets caught walking, uh which he's not supposed to be able to do because he's supposed to be paralyzed. But beforehand he was already on like a radar for like the police, I believe, because they were tracking his wheelchair and they noticed it being in like different places than he was supposed to be, or places he wasn't even supposed to be able to get to with the wheelchair. And like also, cameras exist.
I mean, yeah.
He I'm sorry. I remember this scene where he's like really like talking to the rich guy about STEM and how he wants to like keep going with it. And like eventually it's like, I feel like this is a spoiler, but eventually it's revealed that I believe it was STEM. Yeah, STEM, the uh implant, the basically it was like an AI. It forced Iran Iran to implant its STEM. STEM forced the rich guy to put STEM into Gray because he like I believe STEM was the one that like ultimately was the reason why uh Gray's wife died and why they were like originally attacked. And it was because Gray was like the best, uh what's it called?
Like a candidate?
Yeah, like was like the best. Yeah, was like the best candidate for it. Um and kind of similar to like the ending of Split when Beast takes over, STEM eventually just takes full control over Gray, and like Gray just basically ceases to exist.
So is like STEM like a technology thing?
Yes, it's like an AI. And I believe it kind of communicates with him throughout the movie. Um
It it kind of sounds like it's supposed to be like a kind of more horror version of like Venom.
oh, I was thinking more of a horror version of Be More Chill. like had it gotten super bad.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know if I explained it very well. Because I watched the movie a year ago, but it's so good that I just it's so good. I feel like had I been able to like explain more of like the key point of him, like the way the stem took over his body in like specific times where he allowed it to, like it would have made more sense.
For two people who have never watched the movie, it was a very well put together synopsis of how good it could be.
Yeah.
I'm like a huge sucker for like sci-fi anything. So
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, I was following along with what you said.
Yeah. I I just think AI and like future stuff is like super interesting cuz it's like we're going in that direction and it's like only a matter of time until like these things start happening, and
I can
it's like that's kind of scary the way the plot played out.
I kind of feel like movies like that, especially whenever it's like an advancement towards like what society is already becoming, it kind of falls into like that Final Destination category where like Final Destination isn't meant to technically be like scary and like targeting the fears that people should have. It's more like here's fears that people do have and how like wildly unrealistic they can be. 'Cause it's like think about like the roller coaster, like hydraulics don't just give out like that, right? So it's like it's showing people that like you think this is gonna happen, but that it's like the stupidest thing you think can happen. So I feel
Yeah.
like a lot of movies that do that and they try to like make futuristic things look terrifying are trying to do the same thing that like Final Destination is trying to do.
Mm.
Man, it just makes me think of Terminator. Like that's what this movie makes me think of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What specific part of Terminator?
Okay, so like I think it's like one of like the newer movies. Not it's definitely not the newest one, but
Mm-hmm.
I think it's the one where it just went and left. Hold on. It's the one where they like try to go I think they tried to go like back in time to like before um their like son, quote unquote, like is born because like he ends up turning crazy and being like an indestructible Terminator.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, but that's like what it reminded me of cuz like I just remember like seeing like Arnold Schwarzenegger like just like having half like his real body like
Mm-hmm.
and then half like his just like metal arms or legs.
I would love to contribute to this conversation about Terminator, but I have never watched it.
Honestly, I mean, I've only watched like one of them, and I don't remember which one it was. But like, I feel like all of the Terminator movies kind of just followed like the same plot anyway.
It's like Fast and Furious.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
You can watch one and get the whole plot line of it.
I mean, but like, what about the family in Terminator? You know, there's not a lot of family in there.
I think like I don't know. Like I feel like their newer ones are like getting better at being different than the older ones, but like it's not such a significant difference.
What I'm hearing is Axel is actually a die-hard Terminator fan.
Oh, um, you know what? I was when was a kid. I won't lie.
Oh,
Yeah.
but the new ones.
The new ones.
Um, I mean, I don't
No
even,
comment.
bro. I haven't even watched the newest one with like Sarah Connor's in it, and I think her daughter or something. I don't know. I don't even remember.
Hmm.
Yeah, but just for funsies, we can just keep going because why not?
All right, cool. Because you were talking about the Terminator, and I
Yeah.
just like kept thinking of like the Alien or and like Predator movies
Oh my
because
goodness.
I love them. I love them so much.
See,
Another movie I have not watched.
Really, you've never watched any of the Alien or Predator movies?
I've definitely watched like the first Alien whenever I was like really young, but I've never watched anything past that.
bro.
If you knew Alien, I was literally gonna ask you, have you ever watched Star Trek? Because that's
No,
basically.
I haven't. I haven't watched Star Wars or Star Trek. I was a huge Resident Evil kid though, because like
Oh, oh gosh.
Oh my gosh. Me too.
games and movies, like Resident Evil 6 will forever be my favorite game, and I don't care how much people bully me for it.
I'm going to
Oh,
bully you because that game was just hot anus. It just
It
wasn't
was.
good.
You are such a liar.
It
You're
was not
lying.
good.
No, tell me why it wasn't good. Tell me.
Bro. Okay, you know that like laser beam scene?
I do.
Yes. What is that? Just
Okay, but you gotta admit, the scene where you have to save her sister from like a little like slime cocoon is dope as fuck.
okay, yes. I will admit that's cool. But I don't know, I feel
And
like
then like the huge zombie you have to defeat in the first like 5 minutes is like tearing apart your bus.
I mean,
The graveyard scene, come on, man. There, listen, you can choose like one like out of all of the games, but like, come on, which one's got like the best gameplay for its time and also the best story? I mean, it's Resident Evil 6,
no,
bro.
bro. It's Resident Evil 4, and I will not take argument
I knew you were gonna say 4. I knew you were gonna say 4.
because it's literally so good.
Listen, people's only opinion on Resident Evil games is either 4, 6, or the two new ones. Nobody likes anything before those.
what? What? I like.
Like, listen. I think they're all great games. Don't get me wrong, but my favorite is Resident Evil 6. I think it's the best game.
I like Resident Evil 2 remastered. So
Resident Evil 2 is good. It's good.
yeah.
OG Resident Evil, like the first game,
Yeah.
plays like shit, but
It
it's good.
yeah, so does Revelations. It's like Revelations isn't that bad, but like it just plays really weird.
Hate me if you want, all right, but I don't think BioShock was that good. I don't think 7 is that good.
Okay, I feel
Uh,
like it did get overhyped, but I mean like I still did thoroughly enjoy playing the game.
I didn't play it. I just got to watch it, and I did play one like scene of it in VR. And in VR, it's like really cool, like to be like hands on in the game, but the textures are so gross that it like puts me off.
Mm-hmm. I've never played Bioshock or seen anything from it, to be honest.
I mean, I don't know. I think the one like if I had to choose a Resident Evil I like the least, it would definitely be number 3.
If you say 6, oh okay.
No, number 3.
Coming out of the gate.
I was I was mentally preparing for you to say 6 because I don't care who I have a discussion with. They always say 6 is the worst one. I'm like, you just didn't play it.
It's just not. Like, don't get me wrong, I do kind of like the remastered 3, but it's just like when you go up in games, you want to like change it up or like I know they both take place in Raccoon City, so they're not going to be like too different, but it's like literally Mr. X and Nemesis are literally almost the same thing.
Yeah,
I
they are.
think I think Resident Evil was like cool for its time, but if you were to play it now, it's kind of like but it's like it's nice to have like that beginning point. But like 1 through 3 are all like the lacking games because it was like the building blocks of what it was going to become.
Yeah. And I mean, I don't know if people are gonna hate me for this or not. It gets canceled, but I I don't know. So like the endings of the original like 2 and 3, I didn't really like it. So like I did kind of enjoy the remastered better,
Yep. Mm-hmm.
but I'm just like wondering how they're gonna change 4 if they ever end up remastering it.
Yeah.
Cause like since my favorite, I'm just,
Yeah. Uh-huh.
yeah.
Because we're not playing favorites on Resident Evil, Axel.
We're not.
No, no, we're not. Alright, we're on the topic of games. We're not on the topic of movies anymore.
Oh,
So I must put in my 2 cents. How are
Alright.
we feeling about FNAF's Security Breach?
bro, so
Honest
good.
opinions, I want you to get canceled. So good.
Okay, no, let me go in depth.
So,
Okay,
Axel, defend.
okay. So, okay, like, okay. First, I don't know why I keep saying okay. Anyways,
Alright.
my childhood is literally built off of FNAF. So like when they like stopped at like sister location and then it was mostly like fan made games, I was like, "Aw, that kind of sucks." But when they came out with Security Breach, it was like a whole new upgrade to like Five Nights at Freddy's. Like you still had the like jump scares, obviously, and but like now you had this huge like pizzaplex that you could walk around, and it wasn't just like you were just secluded in like the office, just like in all the other games, except for 4 because that's different.
It's kind of like open, but it wasn't like too open.
Yeah, and I don't know, maybe it's just like I liked that there was like more story to like the FNAF game. I don't know if it's just because I'm a sucker for like story games, but like I don't know, it like made it more interesting.
There was story in Security Breach?
Well, okay, so like you know how you defeat Chica and then you defeat Roxy or you defeat Monty.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like technically those are like story plot points that happen.
But no lore. No
Technically.
lore.
Yeah. But
Listen, I think the saddest part about Security Breach to me, alright, is that originally the books weren't supposed to be lore. They were supposed to be like kind of add-ons, but they weren't meant to be lore. So like you understood the full lore just by playing the games, not by reading the books. But you have to have read the books or at least watch MatPat videos because you know
Yeah,
MatPat goes over the book.
he
You
does.
had to have known all of that to be able to play Security Breach and even get like the tiniest ounce of like, is that lore?
No.
see, I've read I've read like the first one and like I honestly didn't even make the connection. So I
It's
go ahead.
I don't think it's a bad game. I don't think it's a bad game. Like
It's
I'm not
not.
saying it is the worst game in the entire world. I think on its own it is a well put together game. Do I think it should have been considered a Five Nights at Freddy's game? No. I will elaborate.
I actually agree with that, yeah.
I'm very true to my classic like Five Nights at Freddy's. Obviously, it was kind of getting tired of like being in one area and being kind of restricted. But that's when you quit the game. That's not when you kind of completely branch out and make a totally different game. But I respect them for trying to do that. The only problem with that is that Scott, in the middle of the game, was just like, eh, I don't want to do this anymore, and quit, and left it up to a bunch of like developers that he had hired on who were very new or weren't really getting credit for the things that they were on, so they weren't necessarily too new. So like he gave them like a rough storyline and said finish the game for me.
Hmm.
And so they did. And it's not put together very well, and there's not very much lore because Scott didn't necessarily give them that lore to cover. But it also, like, think about how smooth those animatronics move, and then look at how, like, Vanessa walks.
Mm-hmm.
Like, Vanessa walks more animatronic than the animatronic.
Freddy, you're supposed to be on lockdown.
Also,
Vanessa, I threw up.
I mean, I kind of agree with that. Like, there were like a lot of bugs, like when it
Yeah.
first came out. I mean, they were
Yeah.
funny, but like also, it was like very rough, like when they released it.
Yeah. A lot of the bugs, though, like, that are in it, like, exactly like how Vanessa walks, they can't fix that. That's how they animated her.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but like,
Like, they would have completely had to pull that and reanimate her, like, sequences.
I think I like the thing that bothered me is like there were a lot of glitches with Freddy, and he was like the main one you were with.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I can't
Like, you
remember.
running past you.
Yes. Also, like when you would hear him running, but he wasn't actually running towards you.
You're just sitting. Or, like, did you watch Ethan's playthrough of it?
Yeah, I did.
No.
There was a part when in like Ethan's playthrough while Freddy was like inside of the machine that you like have to put him back together and connect the wires, where he accidentally hit the button to call Freddy, and Freddy came.
Yeah,
But Freddy was also on the inside of the cell, so it was like he was laughing because obviously like Freddy isn't there.
yes. I was trying to remember whose video that was, but yeah, I
Yeah, it was
remember that.
Ethan's.
Like, what do you even do at that point? Like, you're gonna exit the room and there's gonna be two Freddys now.
I mean, didn't one go away? Like, I assume one of them went away.
Well, I mean, yeah, one of them did go away, but like, it was probably because usually when you do like the upgrades for Freddy, you have to like do all that.
Call.
Yeah,
I don't know. I think it could have been good, but I think it was too much for Scott. I think he was in way over his head to try and
Mhm.
do that, and then whenever he was realized that he was way in over his head, pass it off to a bunch of game developers who were kind of unexperienced. Like a lot of the developers were on sister location, but Scott kind of took the cake on all of that. And now it's kind of just like all these developers alone in the room without like Scott's approval.
yeah. I think like I agree. Like I feel like Scott shouldn't have left it because I also was very confused like on the lore. Like I thought it would be connected to the rest of the lore, but it really wasn't.
Yeah.
And like I don't know, I just felt like sister location was like maybe a step. It was honestly I do think it was a step in the right direction. Like in words of like being more like open.
Yeah, I think sister location was good. I think that's why they try to do security breach. They wanted a more open world with the kind of developments that they had made and the creations of the animatronics, but they lacked the ability to actually follow through on that.
Yeah. Honestly, also the another thing I disliked about Security Breach was why were the endings not animated?
Yeah, I
Right.
know.
Like I get like beggars can't be choosers, but like I don't know, it just like it was I don't know, I wanted to like see the ending happen more than just like um then just read it.
What?
Yeah.
What?
What?
What do you say?
I said I'd rather like to see the ending rather than just like read like a comic strip.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I think it's like kind of unfair to put it all on Scott because like Scott definitely Scott had his reason for leaving, and
Yeah.
his reason was dumb, but he did have his reason.
Yeah.
But then it was also like they didn't allow the developers to like change the date for its release. So a lot of that stuff didn't get animated just because they were like pushing time.
I'm gonna be honest. Um, I didn't like the fact that we actually got to see Gregory. I feel like that was like a really like weird thing. Since we literally haven't like genuinely like seen any of the other people who like are like roaming the places, and like literally just upfront seeing Gregory in like perfect like a perfect representation and like real life version of him. Well, I mean like not real life, but like a perfect drawing of him was like really strange.
Yeah, I kind of feel that way because like you see like Michael and William as like 2D characters and like 8-bit form, which like is it's cute in the idea, but it's like we didn't really get any of those like 8-bit like mini games in the
Yeah.
newer games.
Like I feel
Well,
like Five Nights at Freddy's is supposed to be like a horror game,
Yeah.
even if it's just a bunch of cheap jump scares. And I felt like Security Breach was not scary. I mean, not even
no.
like just because the animatronics look derpy. Because I mean, the animatronics look derpy in number two. So,
Yeah.
but like they would still would scare the crap out of you if they jumped at you.
Yeah.
But like now
I,
it's
it's
just
like the screams.
yes,
Yeah.
It's also more like stressful than it is like scary because it's like
Yeah.
if you're like someone like our age, like we've played the games, we've seen how they play. But if you're someone who's younger, like it may be more scary because it's like, oh, it's a loud scream, and I'm actually roaming. I never know when they're gonna get me. But it's like you're older now, and you're like, oh, here he comes. What you gonna do? Jump scare me? Oh,
Instead of like literally having like something that you can like shield yourself away from like the animatronics, you literally have to put yourself in positions to like get scared or like get like attacked by them. And
yeah,
I feel like that's definitely that's definitely a big jump from what it originally was.
yeah,
But I mean, I guess like the other like games are like similar to that. But like I don't know. Security Breach really took it to like a whole new level.
I just wish they would have like the thing about like how Axel was like beggars can't be choosers. No one was begging for this game. Like yeah, we were excited, but no one was like, oh, you better put it out soon. Oh, I can't wait because it's like I could have waited, especially if I
Yeah.
knew like the outcome of it was gonna be like, oh, here comes an animatronic. Let me hop up on this table where it can see me and I can see it, but it can't jump scare me. You know?
Not even gonna lie, did not know Security Breach was coming out until Mark made a video.
Really?
Yeah.
I saw the trailer like 2 months before it released and was like, oh, that's kind of exciting.
Yeah.
I actually heard about it like months before. I don't know how many months, but it was. So when did Security Breach come out? Like
I don't know. Hold on, I got you.
I think it was like around January or February, right? Or was it last year?
It was last year,
Uh,
December 16th, 2021.
yeah.
that's where I'm getting up at.
So I kind of heard about it like in the summer, but it was technically just a rumor at that time. So
Yeah, should have kept it a rumor.
Honestly, sometimes I'm
Like, listen. I understand why people like it. I understand why a lot of kids like now who are like actual kids who didn't get the luxury of experiencing the like OG games would like it. But as someone who was like raised by that game, someone who played all of the games throughout, watched other people play it, and had like Map Pat, like it's not as fun or like interesting.
No.
I think we should end it here because like we're way off of horror, and
Yeah.
Yeah.
yes, and also it's kind of getting late.
It's only almost 9.
It's
True,
only 9, actual.
Yeah.
true, but I'm still a high schooler who has a bedtime, so
You have a bedtime, Axel?
yes,
Imagine having.
it's I don't know.
Honestly, respect. Keeping you to schedule.
I guess. All right,
My mom stopped caring once I got in like 6th grade, dude.
Yeah, same.
bro, that was what I wanted to happen. But no, my brother's a senior and he still has a bedtime.
That's kind of cringy.
That's a little funny, actually.
Yeah. Man is literally turning 18 in 2 months and he still has a bedtime.
Ew, I'm the same age as him.
I'm not even 17 yet.
I already am.
I'm also not 17
You're literally.
Axel, when you turned 17.
in May, so next month.
Oh, you're older than me. Damn.
Mm,
I'm not the baby anymore.
you're literally a
I'm
child.
always. Listen, I am right on the verge. If I was born in July, I would be a sophomore. But since I was born in June, I technically qualified to be a junior.
Yo.
So, I mean, like, actual, like, grade wise, whenever I was able to start. But, like, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I'm gonna end the stream now.
Okay.
All right.